All right, conversation tip, or more like an online communication philosophy that I wanted to share that I've been thinking about recently is sometimes I feel like whenever I'm talking to people online or responding to a YouTube comment, it feels like I have to play this sort of game of chess a little bit. Figure out, like, okay, they said this, and if I respond back, like, to, let's say, an opinion that I disagree with, maybe it'll create conflict, maybe it'll cause this person to dislike me, maybe it'll also cause other people who see these comments to dislike me as well. Stuff like that. Things around insecurities, and also just like not really knowing whether or not I want to face conflict, I suppose. Because, it is kind of like not something you're used to. It's not natural to be able to talk to so many people and like show yourself in this public way where a lot of people are watching you, judging you, all that stuff. Like, I don't think this is definitely oversaid, but I don't think humans are like wired to handle that. But for the most part, I am handling it decently, and my philosophy is basically to not play that chess game, to not like play the game where, yes, I might like think of a more calculated or better response so that they don't dislike me. They don't like, oh, there's like so many things in the road going on. It's not a good time to record. Okay. But basically, sometimes I just play the game and I'm like, okay, I can say this first. Like, for instance, there was this comment about my dating app story, where I was talking about how we don't need to get into the contents of it, but basically the comment was saying, like, they felt this way, they felt like I was doing this and that. And for me, it's like an off the cuff video. I'm like, okay, they're missing details. I can tell them the details, which I did, which is what I wanted to do. But I also started off by saying, like, okay, this might sound like I'm defending myself, and then say the rest. But like, I don't need that part of like, oh, this might sound like I'm defending myself. I only put it in there because I want to acknowledge that fact, and it also softens like the next things that I'm saying. I don't think these things are all bad, like including just qualifiers or statements where it's like, yes, I acknowledge and I also understand like what you're saying, or I'm aware that I might be sounding a certain way. Like, I don't think they're bad necessarily, but at the same time, I feel like it's very, it's, uh, it's very like acting too careful, in my opinion, and I don't like it that much. I feel like I'll still occasionally say those things, but for the most part, where I'm heading to is like, for instance, there's a comment about my jacket a couple videos ago, where I was wearing something they thought looked like Squid Game, and a whole coincidence happened where my friend that same day, like, basically I saw the comment, I was like, I have no idea what this guy's talking about, and then my friend mentioned how my jacket looked like Squid Game, and I was like, I don't really see it, but like, it gave me this huge epiphany of like, oh, so that's what the guy was talking about. So then I told the guy in the comment section, like, the whole story of what just happened that day. And I thought that was fun, I'm just responding and speaking my mind. Versus, like, let's say another occasion where on Instagram, after I made my video about the dating apps as like a short Asian dude, the someone commented, or someone reached out to me on Instagram and mentioned how, like, oh, my videos are good, but like they like the message, but like, the whole two camera thing was a little like Bollywood. It felt weird. Like, you should include more like B-roll, make it more cinematic, stuff like that. And part of me was immediately thinking, I really don't care that to make it look more cinematic. I don't care to like do more with the video. I made the video the way it was. Like, I don't have the headspace and time to make it more than it was, because I honestly don't care. Like, I just feel like I wanted to get the message out there. And I could have told him that, but instead I said, oh, thank you for your feedback, and so on, so on, happy Chinese New Year, so on. It's a very generic response, and I don't like generic in general. And that's something I've been thinking about lately, and how I want to change my philosophy to be more like, yes, I am going to actually respond more specifically and more like concretely whatever is on my mind, and face those consequences of whatever feelings the person might have, whether it's like a little confrontational or not. Like, let's just do it that way, and instead of being so calculated and so like careful about my responses. This is just a side effect of like getting more comments on YouTube as I continue to grow, but navigating it has been interesting, definitely. But I just wanted to share that. I feel like it was a really big thing in my head. I was like, why am I always responding in such a way? Like, why do I have to go through this whole process of playing this chess game of conversation and like online communication? And like, let's just not play the game. That's how you win it. So that's my decision. We'll see what happens from here. But yeah, catch you guys in the next one.